Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video with another paid request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for that. And like I said, PayPal, Cash App are the best ways to do that. It could be pretty much any type of video if you wish to. But again, links are down below. But Lucas wanted me to take a look at Planet 51 from 2009, which I believe I did see this once back in the day. Probably when I worked at the video store. And at that point, I could just pretty much rent any movie for free. So a lot of times I would just rent a bunch just to see what it's like. Also, if a customer asks, kind of at least answer a few questions. This one, I guess it was made by people in Spain. And it cost about $70 million, but it did not do well. It was a flop. Because it only made $42 million in the US. It only made a total of $105 million worldwide. Now, $105 million worldwide on a $70 million budget, that's a flop. Because, I mean, hell, to break even, you would probably need, to $70 million, that's probably not even including marketing and other stuff, so it definitely lost money. And there's recognizable people in the voice cast. And before I get to that, the plot, the setup is, imagine a world like us that was in the 1950s, but it's aliens, thus Planet 51. So it's aliens just going their everyday business. Instead of driving cars with wheels, they drive saucers with no wheels. Instead of raining water, it rains rocks. There's a little dog. I would say the best joke in the movie, the best joke is there's a xenomorph dog. And you see its doghouse and it's named Ripley. And of course, you know why. Right there. So, I thought that was a cute looking dog. Surprised they got away, but I guess it's, to be fair, parody. And I'm trying to remember, did Fox release this? No, I don't. I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't remember which studio released this, actually. I'll look that up real quick, just out of curiosity. I mean, the production company was Alien Animation Studios, Handmade Films International, and TriStar Pictures. TriStar Pictures, that's what it was. Because I remember hearing, that's why I was a bit confused. So, it was New Line Cinema, I think, was going to release this, but then things kind of changed, and then TriStar Pictures got it. And then Alien is a Fox property, but I'm sure again they were able to get away with it because they could chalk it up to parody. I'm over-explaining something that's a little teeny thing, but because I thought the best part of the movie was, oh, there's a little Xeno dog. That's cool. And it has the double tongue, but it's actual tongue that will, like a innocent suction cup that'll attach to your helmet and stuff. And it pisses acid. I mean, but when that's your best joke in the movie, Justin Long is a teenager that just got a new job at this museum. He wants to be an astronomer. He's very much into space and what's out there. His buddy works at a comic book shop, voiced by Seann William Scott. And I like Justin Long. He's not always in the best movies, but I liked him in Galaxy Quest. I liked him in Live Free or Die Hard. I liked him in other stuff. Seann William Scott, who again plays his buddy, I liked him in Do Where's My Car. I liked him in Evolution. That's an underrated one. The possible love interest is Jessica Biel. Jessica Talk right fucker. Jessica Biel, She was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. She was in, I think she was in the A-Team movie, which is, yeah. Other recognizable people, Gary Oldman plays the general. But all the people I'm talking about are aliens. And one day, an aircraft, a flying saucer, arrives, and it's one of ours, an astronaut, voiced by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I believe this is the first animated film he voiced. Of course, he would go on to voice in Moana, Moana 2, and so forth. But this is his first, I believe, his first animated performance. And was trying to be as E.T. but reversed. Where instead of, what if an alien landed on our planet? What if we landed on an alien planet and they thought we were dangerous, and then one of the aliens is helping one of us and keeping it safe and hiding and trying to figure out what to do next. That's pretty much the story for the entire movie. Granted, the movie's only an hour and 20-some minutes if you take out the end credits. And I would say at the end of the day, this was a harmless film. It was. I didn't find anything that egregious about it. It's not a film I loved. It's not a film I'd rewatch again. But it was there. I mean, the animation is not Pixar, but I thought the animation was fine. The voice acting, I didn't mind it. Thought it was okay. I didn't mind the opening where you think it's the typical, okay, it's a 50s movie where it's showing, humans being attacked by aliens, but then you find out, no, it's a movie called The Humaniacs, and this human is just a giant eyeball zapping soldiers, and then you find out it's a movie within the movie, and alien kids are all cool, and then the alien mom pulls the kid out, you're too young for that, but mom, it was almost over. And then you get to see the world, which again, the rain, it's rocks instead of water. It's dogs, little xenomorphs. Things of that nature, which again, I thought was cute. Justin Long, his voice performance, I mean, he kind of just voiced himself. I mean, it was nothing that amazing or anything. It's just kind of okay, just his regular voice, just talking. I mean, there you go. Kind of the typical things is the girl that he likes, but he's too nervous to ask her out, even though he hears from someone that she likes him, but he's still too chicken shit to ask her out. Of course, by the end, they'll change later on, and they'll get together. You have the buddy, Seann William Scott, who believes in aliens and is paranoid, and then lo and behold, he's right. You have the little kid who thinks, oh, this is so cool, it's so cool. That type of character. Let's say Dwayne Johnson arrives. He comes out with his astronaut gear on. He tries to plant a flag, the American flag. Sees all the aliens around, gets scared, runs, a lot of hijinks. Accidentally falls into some skates down the sidewalk. Hits someone who's on a bicycle. They roll down. You got the E.T. shot where it goes off and you see the side where the thing's going over. Like E.T. The flying bike bit. There's a robot rover that acts like a dog who likes to look for rocks and notices that an astronaut has landed, so is trying to find him. And Rover was cute. You remind me a little bit of Wall-E, a little bit like that character. And again, a little probe robot acting like a dog. It's cute. Has an antenna that wags like a tail. So again, that and the little Xeno dog, there's some cute stuff in there. The plot is very simple. It doesn't overexert itself. Justin Long is working one night, sees that the astronaut is there. They just stare at each other. Then they find out they both can speak English. For convenience sake, had to stumble over that. And then they start working together. Where Justin Long starts hiding him, gets him into his room. The little kid and Seann William Scott find out. And then it's a lot of kind of being chased around. What do we do? Chased over here, chased over there. Hide him over here. All the rock gets caught. The rock tells him, hey, just don't ruin your life because of me. Justin Long says okay, begrudgingly, but then tries to formulate a plan to rescue him. The rover, the probe, gets out of its cell, finds them, leads them, the group, to where they need to go. So it's this place in the middle of nowhere. Seann William Scott sees a little, what he thinks is a soda bottle, but it's actually a switch to open up this planet's Area 51. They go in. They get the rot. There's an explosion. The general is hurt, voiced by Gary Oldman, who is the bad guy for most of it. The Rock goes in to rescue him because it's the right thing to do. They get into a shuttle. They go into space. They dip back down. The general realizes, hey, the Rock is actually a good guy. Says goodbye. Rover decides to stay. The Rock says goodbye. Heads. But the little Xeno dog got on board, so now it's stuck with the Rock. Just a Biel kiss, and the movie's pretty much over. I know I skipped over things, but like I said, it's a very typical plot. It's pretty by the numbers. I do think a lot more could have been done with the fact it was set in this version. This planet's the 50s. And I'm sure it's trying to be a satire on how paranoid the government was and to how easily they were of judging a book by its cover. But I don't know, just like the voice performances, like I said, were okay, but nothing grandiose. And there's a part of me that wonders if Dwayne Johnson, if he was the right fit or if he was miscast. And honestly, the more I think about it, I kind of feel he was a bit miscast. I don't think he gave the worst voice performance ever or anything, but I don't know. If someone else voiced this character, and I'm trying to think on who it could have been. You know who could have done a good job? I know this is a weird choice, but James Woods. Because James Woods is very good at voicing, as you could tell when he played the villain in Hercules. The little bit he did on The Simpsons. He's actually pretty underrated. Like, he could be a good voice. If not him, if you need a guy who's like bigger guy. Hell, I would have gotten more of a kick if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or someone of that nature. But yeah, I'm just not sure if Dwayne Johnson was the right fit for this. I mean, again, it's okay, but I could see someone doing this a bit better. Granted, I mean, the character, he's not given the best lines. It's just a lot of kind of egotistical. Like, let me show you how suave I am with the ladies, and let me try to charm people, and it doesn't work out, or I need to get back to my shuttle. I gotta get back and host the Kids' Choice Awards. I'm getting slimed. That kind of dialogue. So maybe it's just the script. The script definitely needed a few stronger bits of wit and satire. I mean, the jokes that pop up for me are kind of, at one point, one of Justin Long's fish farts bubbles. Or when they rescue the Rock and he stands up and his towel falls down. Seann Scott looks and goes, "That's a funny place for his antenna." Talking about his dick. I mean, like, that's the jokes that kind of pop up, and if it makes you laugh, okay. I would say I hate to say it, that was probably the joke that almost got a chuckle out of me. That's a funny place for his antenna. And the fact that that was the joke, it just shows it just, I don't think it's really that funny of a movie. They do a lot of cover songs for various. For example, there's a point where the rover, the probe, is chased around a diner that has a bowling alley attached to it. And there's a cover song of Long Tall Sally. There's a bit where the characters are trying to hide, and there's a bunch of other aliens, because this new movie's coming out, Humaniacs 3, so people are dressed up in costume. So Justin Long and The Rod, they're dressed up in costumes, and the Rod starts singing a cover version of Grease Lightning and trying to get Justin Long to dance to impress the girl out there. Like, that's the kind of humor, that's the kind of jokes, that's the kind of set pieces you got in this. And like I say, it's, if you have a child and they want to watch something that's for the most part harmless and short and doesn't overstay its welcome, I mean, you could do better, you do worse than this. But you just see why this is a film that's fairly forgotten. I think it has like a 6 out of 10 IMDb, so there's quite a few people that do like the film. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's awful. It's just kind of unremarkable. It's unremarkable. You could say maybe it just served its purpose, and then you move on, and then, there's much, much worse out there, and there's much better out there. So a time waster? I think just because I didn't mind the world, how I would like to have seen even more of it, but I like the world of this, an alien world that's trapped in this 1950s motif. Thought that was an interesting idea. I didn't mind the designs of the aliens. I think The Rock describes them as sea monkeys. I can see what it means by that. Green ones. But I didn't mind the design. Justin Long, I said he's okay. He did seem a bit boring, though, as his character. And part of me wonders if it would have been better if Seann William Scott's character was the lead. Because he had a bit of more of that cartoonish energy that at times he almost I swear at times he almost sounded like Matthew Lillard's Shaggy. At times. Not all the time, but I wonder, like, maybe if Seann William Scott, like, if his kind of energetic, his type of character would have been a bit more of a energetic bubble for the Dwayne Johnson tier to play off against and have a bit of a rowdy animated romp for viewers. Just in Justin Long's tier, to him off as a little bit kind of boring as a lead. I mean, it's funny that my two favorite characters were ones that didn't talk. The rover probe and the xenomorph dog. So I guess that says a lot. But like I said, I didn't hate the film. It was there. I could take it or leave it. But I would chalk it up like a time waster. Yeah, the songs, if you don't mind cover songs of some popular titles. I say it's a short enough movie, so it wasn't too boring or anything, but it's just kind of like, Like, not much, a whole lot to talk about. So I really don't know what else to say, because I'd just be repeating myself. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.